Ayo, tell me y'all ain't ready for this level of drama. Just when we thought the MC's Kirk Candy mess couldn't get any wilder. Boom. A scandal so big, so messy, it's got Kirk 3 seconds from throwing hands for real. Now, y'all already know how messy Mendeecees is, but this is next level betrayal. Word on the street is Kirk just found out about a shady affair that could wreck everything. And guess who's caught up in it?
Yandy.
Yep, Yandy. Now, I got questions. Is Kirk really about to step to Mendeecees over this? Is this affair even real, or just another industry setup? And most importantly, how is Rashida reacting to all this? 'Cause you know she don't play when it comes to her man. This tea is too hot to sip slowly, so grab your popcorn, 'cause we're about to break it all down, from the leaked secrets to the backstage threats that got Kirk ready to risk it all. Stay locked in, 'cause this one, it's wild, y'all. This right here is the kind of drama that love and hip-hop fans live for. This ain't just another cheating rumor. This is full-blown betrayal. Friendships crumbling. A secret so shocking that even the most unbothered reality stars are out here losing their minds. Because when Kirk Frost found out what went down between Mendeecees and Yandy, he snapped. And this wasn't just a little argument or some side-eye situation. Kirk was out for blood. Word on the street is Mendeecees better watch his back, because Kirk is not letting this slide. Now, if you've been keeping up with love and hip-hop, you already know that Kirk and Rashida's marriage has been through hell and back. From side babies to public humiliation, Kirk has done everything in his power to destroy Rashida's trust. Yet, somehow, she always finds a way to hold their marriage together, and honestly, that's her business. But this time, this ain't about Kirk messing up. This is about someone doing him dirty, and that changes everything. For the longest time, Kirk and Mendeecees had what you could call a respectful distance. They weren't exactly best friends, but they weren't enemies either. Just two men in the same messy industry, moving in the same messy circles, keeping their drama separate.
Or so we thought.
Because behind the scenes, it looks like Mendeecees was getting a little too close for comfort. And when Kirk found out,
all hell broke
loose. Before we even get into Kirk's explosive reaction, let's talk about what exactly set him off. Because this ain't just some little misunderstanding. This is a whole scandal that's been brewing under the surface for months. It all started when people began noticing that Mendeecees and Yandy were spending a lot of time together. More than usual. At first, folks brushed it off. After all, Yandy and Mendeecees have always had a business dynamic. She's the type to make power moves, handle her man's affairs, and keep things professional. But baby, when the streets start talking, you know something's up. And what the streets were saying, these meetings weren't just business. Now, if this had been anyone else, Kirk might not have even cared. Let's be real, he's been the cheater before, he knows how these things go. But the reason Kirk lost his mind over this? It wasn't just about a cheating scandal. This was about Mendeecees sneaking behind Kirk's back, getting way too close to Yandy, and making moves that had everyone questioning his loyalty. And loyalty? That's everything. The worst part? Kirk wasn't just running on rumors. He had proof. And that's where things take a shocking turn. Because according to sources, Kirk didn't just hear about what was happening, he saw it. And when I tell you, he snapped, phew. Apparently, Kirk got his hands on some solid receipts, text messages, late-night phone calls, and even some cozy-looking pictures of Yandy and Mendeecees. And baby, when Kirk saw those, he was ready to risk it all. Now, let's pause right here, 'cause you already know Kirk ain't the type to sit back and let things play out. He has always been the type to act first, think later. And when he feels like someone is disrespecting him, he takes it personally. So when Kirk saw those messages, he wasted no time. Sources say he immediately pulled up on Mendeecees. No warning, no phone call, just straight-up confrontation. And when I tell you Mendeecees was not ready for it, phew. Now, y'all know how these love and hip-hop stars move. They love a good screaming match, but when it comes to throwing hands, that's usually where they draw the line. But this was a whole different energy. Kirk was on 10. Witnesses say he was pacing back and forth, throwing out threats, making it very clear that he knew everything. And the craziest part? Mendeecees had no idea Kirk had found out. And this is where it gets even messy, eh? Because instead of denying it, Mendeecees allegedly tried to flip the script, talking about how Kirk had no right to be mad when he's been caught up in cheating scandals his whole marriage. And that was the wrong move, because Kirk was not trying to hear it. Kirk got so heated that security had to step in. And Mendeecees? Oh, he was shook. because at that point he knew he was caught. But wait, here's the twist nobody saw coming. Just when you thought this story couldn't get any messier, it does. Because while Kirk was out here losing his mind over Mendeecees and Yandy, there was another name being whispered in the mix. And when this part of the story came out, it changed everything. Because according to even more sources, Mendeecees wasn't the only one sneaking around. Somebody else had been moving real funny too. And when Kirk found out,
Phew.
let's just say, things got even messier. And trust me, y'all are not ready for what happened next. Now, just when Kirk thought he had all the answers, the drama took a turn that nobody saw coming. Because while he was out here ready to go to war over Yandy and Mendeecees, somebody else had been making moves in the background. And that somebody was none other than
Kendra.
Yep, you heard that right, Kendra.
Kirk's supposed ally.
The woman married to his so-called friend Mendeecees? She was not as innocent in all of this as people originally thought. And when Kirk found out what she had been up to, phew. If y'all thought he was mad before, this next part is about to blow your mind. You your pearls now, let's pause right here because this changes everything. Up until this point, Kirk thought he was just dealing with a simple cheating scandal, a little sneaky link situation between M and Yandy. But now, this wasn't just about Yandy anymore. This was way bigger because it wasn't just about one betrayal, it was about multiple betrayals. And when Kirk put 2 and 2 together, he realized that he had been played. Think about it. Kirk had been out here fighting, throwing threats, ready to risk it all for Rashida's honor, thinking that Yandy had done him dirty. But meanwhile, Kendra had been creeping around with Mendeecees behind Irutha's back. And the worst part? Kendra had been lying about it the whole time. Now, let's really break this down because the details in this mess are wild. Apparently, Kendra and M's little secret thing didn't just happen overnight. Sources say it started out real casual, flirty conversations, playful messages, nothing too crazy. But then things escalated, late-night meetups, private hotel bookings, business trips that weren't really about business at all. And y'all, when I tell you the receipts were damning, I mean damning. We're talking screenshots of messages where Mendeecees was out here talking about how he felt trapped in his marriage, how Kendra understood him in a way Yandy never did. And Kendra? She wasn't innocent in this either. She was out here telling Mendeecees how she'd always had a thing for him, how she wished things were different, how she thought they should have been together a long time ago. Now, imagine Kirk. He thought he had this whole situation figured out. He thought Mendeecees was the only one moving dirty. But now, his own so-called ally was in the mix too. And that was the final straw. Kirk was done playing nice. At this point, it wasn't just about confronting Mendeecees anymore. It was about exposing everybody. And when I tell you Kirk went scorched earth, I mean he did not hold back. He started making calls, pulling up on people demanding answers. And you already know the love and hip-hop cameras were rolling because this was reality TV gold. First off, Rashida. Now listen, Rashida has been through a lot. She has stood by Kirk through some of the most humiliating moments in reality TV history. But this was different. Because this time, it wasn't Kirk who was messing up. This time, he was the victim. And when Kirk sat Rashida down and told her everything, she was speechless.
She didn't yell.
She didn't throw anything. She just sat there, shaking her head because at this point, she was tired. But the real question was, what was Kendra going to say? Because up until now, Kendra had been playing innocent, acting like she was shocked about the Yandy and Mendeecees drama. But baby, when she found out that her name was about to be dragged into this mess too, she panicked. And that's where things really popped off. Because instead of owning up to it, Kendra tried to lie. She started telling people Kirk was making things up, that the receipts were fake, that Mendeecees was the one chasing her, not the other way around. But baby, the evidence said otherwise. And Kirk? He was not having it. That's when he pulled out the voice recordings.
Yep, you heard that right.
Because apparently, Kirk had more than just messages. He had audio recordings of Kendra and Mendeecees talking about sneaking around, lying to Yandy, and planning to keep everything quiet. And when Kendra heard those recordings, her face went pale. Because now there was no way out. At this point, things were too far gone. There was no fixing this. No talking it out. No spinning the story. Mendeecees was caught. Kendra was caught. Everybody was caught. And you already know what happened next. The internet exploded. Fans went crazy. Social media was flooded with reactions. People were picking sides, making memes, calling Kendra the biggest liar in LHH history. And then Yandy found out. And that, my friends, is where this story takes its final and most shocking twist yet. Because when Yandy found out the full truth, not just about Mendeecees and Kendra, but about everything, she did something that nobody saw coming. And trust me when I tell you, y'all are not ready for what happened next. When Yandy found out the whole truth, not just about Mendeecees and Kendra, but about everything, something inside her snapped. See, up until this point, Yandy had been quietly dealing with the drama. She had seen the rumors. She had heard the whispers, but she hadn't spoken on it. Maybe she thought it would blow over. Maybe she didn't want to believe it. But when Kirk pulled out those receipts, when she saw Kendra's name all up in this mess, baby, that was the moment Yandy decided she was done being quiet. And let me tell you, she did not go out like a victim. Because instead of crying, instead of playing the hurt wife, Yandy did something that had everybody's jaw on the floor. She flipped the script. She said, "Oh, y'all want to play games?
Cool.
Let's play." And that's when she did something that shook Mendeecees to his core. She leaked his own dirt before anybody else could.
Yep, you heard that right.
Before the internet could run wild with a scandal, before Mendeecees could try to spin the story, Yandy went full savage mode. She got on Instagram Live, looked straight into the camera, and said, "Since everybody want to talk, let's talk. Since y'all want to be messy, let's be messy. Y'all want to hear the truth?
Fine.
Here it is."
And what she said next
Had the whole internet shook. The internet is on fire because Yandy didn't just confirm the rumors. She exposed every single dirty little detail about M's relationship with Kendra, and even some secrets about Kirk that nobody saw coming. She started off real calm, telling people that she had been loyal to Mendeecees for years, that she had stood by him through everything, the jail time, the baby mama drama, the scandals. And what did she get in return? Lies, deception, and the ultimate betrayal. Then she pulled out the real receipts, screenshots, voice notes, bank statements. She named names. She called out exact locations of secret meetings. She even mentioned a side chick that nobody had even heard about before. And then, because apparently Yandy came with a whole PowerPoint presentation, she pulled out something nobody was ready for, a recorded phone call. Not just any phone call. A call between Mendeecees and another woman. A woman who was not Kendra, not Yandy, and not even one of the other side chicks people already knew about. This was somebody new. And when Yandy played that call on live, the internet broke. Because in that recording, Mendeecees was begging this mystery woman to just wait a little longer, saying he was handling things and that he was tired of pretending. That was the moment Yandy looked straight at the camera and said, "So tell me, Mendeecees, what exactly were you pretending about? Because it sounds to me like you've been living a whole double life."
Boom.
Mic drop. Game over. At this point, Mendeecees was finished. His name was trending worldwide. The memes were out of control. Fans were calling for Yandy to divorce him immediately. And Kirk, even he was shook. Because let's not forget, he thought he was the one exposing Mendeecees. But the way Yandy just flipped everything on its head, it left him speechless. Y'all, the drama that just went down between Ems and Kirk Frost is something straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. If you thought the past scandals in love and hip-hop were wild, just wait till you hear about this. This isn't just some minor argument. This is an all-out war, and the internet is losing its mind over it. At the center of it all, Kendra's dirty little secret. Now, let's be real. Kirk Frost is no stranger to relationship drama. He's been called out, exposed, and dragged through the mud for his past mistakes. But this time, he's the one getting played. And y'all, he had no idea it was coming. The betrayal is deep. The lies run even deeper. And Ems? He just lit the match that's about to burn everything down. See, for weeks, people had been whispering about Kirk and Kendra. Something just wasn't adding up. Kirk was doing his usual thing, playing the perfect husband on Instagram, posting those cute couple pics like everything was good. But behind the scenes, Kendra was moving funny. She was always on her phone, getting defensive when Kirk asked where she was going. Even some of her closest friends were starting to side-eye her. And here's the thing, Ems noticed it too. Now, let's keep it real. Mendeecees has had his fair share of drama with Yandy, but one thing about him? He can spot a lie from a mile away. And something about Kendra's behavior just wasn't sitting right with him. Then the whispers started. At first, it was just little things, rumors, speculation, people throwing around theories. But then Ems got hit with some real information. And let's just say, he didn't keep it to himself. Because what he found out, it wasn't just a little slip-up. It wasn't just some flirty messages or a harmless conversation.
No.
Kendra was playing a dangerous game. And the worst part? She wasn't messing around with some random guy. She was messing around with someone Kirk knew. Someone Kirk trusted. It all came to a head one night at a private industry party in Atlanta. Everyone was there, big names, VIP guests, cameras rolling, expensive drinks flowing. Kirk walked in feeling good, completely unaware that, in just a few minutes, his whole world was about to come crashing down. Ems was already there, posted up in the corner, arms crossed, looking mad as hell. And the second he saw Kirk, everything changed. The whole room felt the tension. Kirk noticed it too. He could feel the heat. He walked over, trying to play it cool. Yo, what's good, bro? But Mendeecees? He wasn't smiling. He wasn't dapping him up. He wasn't even blinking. And then, you really out here looking stupid, huh? The whole room went silent. Kirk let out a little laugh, trying to brush it off. Man, what are you even talking about? Ems just stared at him. Then he pulled out his phone. You tell me. Kirk's face changed immediately. Because Ems wasn't just talking. He had receipts. He pressed play on his phone, and suddenly, Kendra's voice filled the room. I miss you. I wish I could be with you right now. Kirk don't even be paying attention to me like you do. Y'all. The way Kirk's face dropped. 1 second he was standing tall. The next he looked like he'd seen a ghost. He reached for the phone, but Ems pulled it back.
Nah, man.
Keep that same energy. By now, a few people had gathered around. The murmurs had started. And Kirk? He was trying to keep his cool, but you could see the storm brewing inside him. Mendeecees finally handed over his phone. Go ahead. Scroll through it. Read it for yourself. Kirk hesitated. But when he finally took the phone, it was like his whole body locked up. Because what he was looking at, text messages, pictures, timestamps. Kendra had been talking reckless. And the worst part? Ems wasn't even done. Oh, and by the way, that dude she's been creeping with? He's close. Closer to you than you think. That's when Kirk's whole demeanor changed. His face went from shock to anger to straight-up fury. And that's when the real chaos started. Kirk could feel his blood boiling, his jaw tightening as he read the texts over and over again. The reality was sinking in, but his mind was rejecting it. He had spent years